For all those half-spin, funky, or pushed serves, you can use a hybrid loop drive technique. So, you simply lower your racket and execute a drive or a rip, a combination of a loop and a drive. Alright, today we're covering serve returns, and we'll be focusing on rhythm. What serve gives you the most trouble? Is it the sidespin topspin and sidespin backspin to your backhand corner? Are you looking to push it back, or are you trying to loop it? You want to loop, right? Good. I like that mindset. I'm an offensive style player myself. I'd rather lose on my own attack than by playing passive defense. I always play proactively. Even if my opponent is stronger, I refuse to lose by being passive. Remember, there are 3 key elements to returning a sidespin-backspin serve. First, don't rush the contact point. That's the rhythm for topspin. Now, for backspin, see, you made an error because your rhythm was too fast. Let's look at the difference in rhythm between a topspin and a backspin serve again. So, for a topspin serve, you can meet the ball right after the bounce. However, for a backspin serve, you must let the ball travel closer to your body before making contact. Many of your shots go into the net because your stroke is already finished by the time you contact the ball. You can't loop effectively that way. If you wait just a little longer for the ball to get to the right position, your loop will be much more effective. For instance, against sidespin topspin, I might contact the ball out in front. But for sidespin backspin, I let it come deeper, allowing it to travel a bit further back after the bounce, which helps me engage my power properly. So, the contact point for topspin is earlier, and for backspin, it's later, meaning closer to your body, but not so close that you get jammed. You must master this timing. The second key point for sidespin backspin is to slow down your motion. Watch why I missed this first ball. Now, watch why I make the second one. It's the same backhand loop against backspin. Why did the first one fail and the second one succeed? Let me explain. When you prepare to receive, your motion is too fast. The ball leaves your racket before you've had a chance to properly grip it. This is the feeling you should have: you need to bite the ball. Slow down your stroke, don't rush. When I say slow down, I don't mean just touch the ball. I mean you must complete your full stroke. Don't treat the ball like it's hot or be afraid of it. As long as you create enough friction to grip the ball, you can make the shot even with a slower, more deliberate motion. Third, when returning a backhand sidespin backspin, you must drive the ball with a longer arc. I'll use the same stroke, but why does the first ball hit the net? Using the exact same motion, why does the second ball clear the net? The first. The second. It has nothing to do with friction. The problem is that while you look like you're using power, your contact is soft. You're not driving through the ball. So, how do you make solid contact? Your wrist can't be too loose or flicky. Solid contact means driving forward through the ball at the moment of impact. Your wrist can generate spin, but the moment of contact must be explosive and compact. Lock the wrist, and let the forearm drive forward. The looser your wrist is during contact, the less solid the hit, which leads to more errors. You must keep your wrist firm. A loose wrist will just flap at the ball. A firm wrist allows you to drive through it. This applies to penhold grip as well. Watch my wrist. Whether you use penhold or shakehand, for a backhand loop, you must be bold and drive forward into the ball. Don't shy away or lift upwards. Serve returns are the fastest shots in a rally, so you have to drive forward. Don't be afraid. That's the feeling you need. Why did that go into the net? Do you see that you're making the second mistake we talked about? Your motion is too fast. You have to hold your form and stay stable through the shot. If the opponent's serve is fast, you should fully follow through after making contact. Don't be intimidated. Don't let your opponent's motion affect you. No matter what they serve, you must maintain your technique and form. Don't get psyched out just because your opponent looks like they're putting a lot of effort into the serve. Some players use deceptive motions, like serving while walking, which can throw off your timing. Should we discuss how to handle tricky serves? For example, serves while moving, serves with no toss, or serves with a backward toss. Focus on the rhythm. The moment the ball leaves their racket, you must start your backswing. Don't watch their body, watch their hand. You are letting their movements distract you too much. Remember, as soon as the ball leaves their racket, you must execute your stroke. This happens to a lot of players. The opponent serves before you're even ready. Therefore, you must be laser-focused on the moment of contact. The moment the ball leaves their racket, you must initiate your motion. Then, just execute the loop the way we've practiced. The second type is a serve with no toss. See, a return like that will be an error. Some opponents will even talk to you and then serve suddenly. But regardless of whether they're moving or using deception, you must react the instant the ball leaves their racket. So, your entire focus should be on their racket at the point of contact. All serves with a backward toss or no toss are usually half spin or no spin. The problem is we rush our stroke before the ball has even been served, trying to get the motion over with. Don't panic. First, read the placement. A no-toss serve can go anywhere. So move your feet first to get into position. Don't get flustered. Second, let's talk about racket work. For all those half-spin, funky, or pushed serves, you can use a hybrid loop drive technique. Look, when you play a backhand rip, you usually keep your racket around chest height, right? But when returning this type of shot, you need to drop your racket a bit lower before making contact. Trying to purely loop these serves will make you go long, while purely blocking or ripping will put the ball in the net. So, you simply lower your racket and execute a drive or a rip, a combination of a loop and a drive. The same applies to the forehand. A flat drive will go into the net, so lower your racket angle and drive through it. If the server's motion is incomplete, the serve won't have much spin. Its main characteristics will be that it's heavy and fast. So, for both your backhand and forehand, just drop your starting racket position and add a bit of brush to your drive. You'll handle it easily. And remember, never let your opponent's antics affect you. Watch their contact point and stay calm. Our biggest problem in serve return is that we start moving erratically before we've even properly read the serve. If you haven't read the spin or placement, stay still and focused on the entire table. Now for the second category, sidespin-topspin. Have you ever encountered a serve you thought was topspin, but your return went into the net? And when you tried to push it, you made an error? We can classify this as a dipping sidespin-topspin. So, topspin serves can be broken down into a few types, including a flat, no-spin ball. The first type is a rush serve, which is essentially a flat ball. The second type, often from a hook serve or an upright racket face, is a sidespin-topspin that kicks or jumps up after the bounce. The third type is a forward pushed or squeezed serve, which is a half-spin ball. This pushed ball is also a type of topspin. If you try to push it, you'll go long. If you only touch it, you'll pop it up for an easy smash for your opponent. Sidespin-topspin serves generally fall into these three categories. Now I'll show you how to return each one. First, the rush serve, basically a flat, no-spin ball. Treat this like a standard backhand drive and hit forward through the ball. However, if the serve is a kicking sidespin-topspin and you use that same backhand drive, the ball will go off the end of the table. This is because the ball jumps upward off your racket. So, you need to make two adjustments to your backhand drive. First, close your racket angle. The second adjustment is the contact height. For a normal drive, you start your stroke from your navel and follow through toward your right shoulder. But for this kicking topspin, raise your contact point to your stomach level and drive forward with a closed racket angle. This will keep the ball on the table. If you use your normal drive technique against this serve, you will go long every time. This is a common reason for errors in a match. For these upward kicking serves, raise your contact point from your navel to your stomach and drive forward through the ball, not upward. Now for the third type we discussed, the one that goes long when you push and into the net when you drive. How do we handle this topspin variant? As I mentioned, you simply lower the starting position of your forearm when playing a backhand drive. Even with a pure block and no brushing, you can get it on the table because you've created the necessary trajectory. As long as you start with your arm lower, you can handle the serve with a drive or a rip. Most amateur players try to use one standard backhand drive for all topspin serves, which is why you miss even when you've correctly read the spin. Let's demonstrate one more time. First, the flat, rush serve. Use a standard backhand drive. Second, the kicking serve. Raise your contact point to your stomach and drive forward. You can use a flat hit or add some friction. Third, the dipping topspin serve. Use your drive motion but start with your forearm lower. Both a drive or a rip will work. Rip, rip, drive, rip. But a standard drive will go into the net. Any serve that is squeezed over the net will have a downward trajectory, so you must treat it as a heavy topspin by lowering your arm. The rush serve is easy to understand, it's just a flat ball coming at you. A true sidespin topspin serve requires an upward brushing motion from the server to create that kicking, high-bouncing spin. Essentially, topspin serves come in these three main variations.